Hello everyone! Welcome back to this game! When we last left off, Mario was stuck between a cloud and a soft place. Oh, there we go. So, in the chat, Maddie made a good point about Mallow's crying moment whenever he was reunited with his family. That was actually kind of sweet when you think about it. Whenever he had promised earlier in the game that he would stop crying, and he has been succeeding, in fact. But of course, the emotion of being reunited with his family that he never knew he had. Of course, you gotta cry for a moment like that. Ain't nothing wrong with that. You're looking especially fluffy today, Prince. Prince Mallow, you're such a crybaby. No, we were just talking about that. He's over it. And I'm getting a phone call. Couldn't the phone call have happened during the break? Hello? Okay. uh... Be right back again, I guess? Again, couldn't that have happened during the break? And I'm not finished with you. Okay. So, as I was saying, we just got through talking about this. Mallow has gotten better about being a crybaby. Also, there's not necessarily wrong with crying from time to time. I mean, sometimes things just suck. Granted, there is such a thing as crying too much, SpongeBob, but still. To be fair, these cloud people don't know how much work Mallow has been putting into being not a crybaby. They're probably thinking about how much he cried when he was a baby. Which, I mean, babies cry. So M. Night says the servants have random dialogue between 3 lines. My, how you've grown, Prince. Long time no see, Prince Mallow. You're looking especially fluffy today, Prince. And I never knew that it was just random which one they said. It always seemed like I got the crybaby one from this one specifically. I guess because maybe there's a cycle, or maybe that's just how the RNG always plays out. Wireline says this is another example of you stressing a bit too much of making the perfect stream. Well, it's still annoying. Oh, hey! The birds are in the cages. So, I made an observation during my playthrough of the original game, and I think it's worth mentioning again, about how the bird cages were empty while Valentina took over. And of course, Valentina has Dodo as a servant, and Valentina has the bird wearing on her head. Valentina... Oh, and also Birdo, if we wanted to really stretch the bird favoritism. Valentina definitely has a thing for birds. And it actually makes me wonder if Valentina is actually the parrot on the head, perhaps piloting a human body. This is not a bedroom. There is also not a bird in that cage. Did you know there are hot springs around here? Yes. Wanted to be first to tell you that. You may or may not have already been the one to tell me that. We're all able to serve the king again. But we left our houses wide open. Hope everything's alright. The king gave me another job as a guard. Prince Mallow! Thank you so much. We were able to rescue my father with the key you gave us. Don't mention it. Besides, it was you who actually rescued him. Good luck in the future. You too. Prince. Here, this is from me. Please take it. Well, I'm sure I'll find a use for it. I shall continue to work for the king with pride. You do that. Hey X, welcome to the stream. The king's happier than ever after being reunited with Mallow. It reminds me of when he was young, soaring across the sky in the royal bus. I think that's a new line in the dialogue as well. Garo is really quick about making statues. Keen to see the king's statue collection. I tell you, it's remarkable. Where did Birdo go? A statue. It seems so unworldly. You say that, but the Geno doll is an Earth creation. Or whatever the Mushroom Kingdom world is. Oh, hey. That treasure chest disappeared, and in its place, a hidden chest. Long time no see, Prince Mallow. Oh, that's one of the servants. Maddie points out that with the king's obsession, he might have already had the Mario, Peach, and Bowser ones made before. Fair point. What happened to Valentina? She must have landed near the sky after she flew the coop. I mean, she started in the sky, so... Also, landing near the sky is a weird thing to say. Doesn't really make sense out of context. Before Valentina came, fireworks lit up the sky every night. Some guy in Moleville would make the fireworks. I wonder if we'll ever get to see them again. Sure thing, as soon as I beat the game. Wario Land is asking, they're in the clouds. Where is near the sky? I will answer that in a bit. It's a marvelous statue, isn't it? I would say the king is self-centered for getting all these statues of himself, but maybe he didn't ask for it. Maybe this is just Garo admiring the king. We can finally walk around the castle and the town freely. People from down under will probably come too. That girl by the inn will tell you who's here. I find it interesting that this pedestal is still empty. It has absolutely no reason to be empty. By the way, can I just say that I really like the aesthetics of this place? With the vines growing around the walls. Seems like such a peaceful place. This time, the princess are for real, right? I'm so relieved the king wasn't ill. And hurrah for our prince! Don't you mean huzzah? Mallow is definitely an underrated character, I feel like. I mean, he has this reputation of being useless, but that's largely because he's a mage without a weapon during the first quarter of the game. We can finally go in the castle. The king seems just fine. Garo's busy making statues of King Nimbus. He seems very happy. It was pointed out to me, first off, apparently Garo is a Peach admirer, since now there's another Peach statue here. Maybe it's a backup. But it was pointed out to me that the King Mallow statue changes every time you come into this room. So, gotta see that now. Fallen over. Seems to be a random animation, random pose. And I'm only getting to the 2. Also, does the controller really need to rumble this much whenever I'm pushing aside a curtain? Huh, happy pose. I'm pretty sure that's the happy pose. Standard pose. Boy, imagine if it had been in this pose the first time we came in here. That might be all of them. I don't know how many poses there are altogether. Yeah, I'm guessing that's all of them. Prince Mallow! That was splendid work. You are every bit a prince. If it weren't for you, Garo, we'd never have pulled it off. We definitely owe you one. Thanks, Mallow. I'm really glad everything worked out. Mallow, you are indeed a true prince. So how does Garo get a name, but Frogfuchsia's not? So the king was all right. I'm so happy for him. I knew it. I knew the prince couldn't be that enormous. 3 cheers for the real prince. There's definitely still a few fat jokes that wound up sneaking in. Also, I just noticed that the cloud we're standing on is, well, it's not solid. It's animated. I'm not sure what the word I am thinking of should be. Flowing? There is still absolutely no indication that the secret path is here. Also, I tried to jump on top of you, but apparently there's a automatic trigger once I get close. Oh ho! Busted. What to do, what to do? I'll give you this fertilizer if you let me go, okay? I can appreciate you pulling out a watering can, even if it's not actually fertilizer. Unless the fertilizer is in the watering can. Might be liquid fertilizer. That is a thing. But then you took it back. And the Mario automatically face down. So this is an important item. Nutrients! You couldn't see me just then, but I was pointing a finger up in the air. And by the way, as a pig, I only have 2 fingers and a thumb on each hand, so just to help with the visualization. The king must be overjoyed having Prince Mello back. People have been visiting us from the world down under. Even Croco came. Yes, I'm kind of curious about that. Because in the original game, Croco would be in here, and talking to him, he would drop the signal ring that in this remake we've had equipped since the Mushroom Kingdom. What do you have now? Also, I am being asked how a pig holds a controller. I mean, I do have fingers. Just thick fingers. They're still functional. I want a ride! Give me a ride! I cannot talk to you while I'm standing on you. No, definitely not as many fingers. Here. Help with the visualization. There you go. Say, hey, we meet again. This here land is rich. It's got tons of loot, and I want it all. But hey, I'm not sweating. This device will tell me where the treasures are hidden. The rest of them are mine. All mine. Adios, fools. What is that? Found an echo signal ring. If you equip it, it'll tell you the locations of hidden treasures. Well, it's too bad that I've found them all up to this point. We'll have to wait before we get to see how that works. It gives extra speed, by the way, so wow. Reveals the exact locations of hidden treasures. Okay, if this item is a thing, then did they actually need to move the hidden treasure chest that was in here to a more reachable spot. I don't know. Maybe it isn't as pinpointy as I'm thinking. Oh, I'm being asked for a link to the artist of this image. The artist is no longer around. Disappeared shortly after drawing this image for me. In fact, this was basically the last image they drew as far as I'm aware. I don't know where they disappeared to. All of their accounts are inactive. But, just in case they randomly show up, I'll go ahead and provide a link to their old accounts. Give me a moment. So, here's one of their accounts, going by the name Leo the Pig. And they also have a Twitter page, which... Well, they had a Twitter page. Their Twitter is gone now. But yeah, that is a very cute image, and it is in fact the image that inspired me to become a pig. The artist is a pig artist, drew cute pigs. I asked them to draw me as a pig because I was curious how I would look. Turns out I make a pretty dang cute pig. And the image really stuck with me, and I decided eventually, yep, I'm gonna be a pig full-time from now on. And it is a decision I do not regret. It is entirely possible that someday I'll find an image, or find an animal that I like being even more. I mean, there's plenty of creatures I haven't tried being yet. But so far, pig has been a really good choice. And a really weird choice, considering I used to not even like pigs. But having this face with the upturned snout, the curly tail, which was kind of a weird thing, but I love this snout, I love this tail. Being a pig is great. Who'd have thunk? As an aside, I had that image on hand real easy because I actually intended to talk about that during the look the other way minigame. But the person who was in the chat before asking about my pig was not in the chat that day, so I just didn't bring it up. Ryanland says, very elegant legs, too. That is the first time I've heard anybody call my legs elegant. Incidentally, I don't have an image prepared right now, but I've also toyed with the idea of walking on my hooves. Do I have an image real quick? Well, I have an image that I drew once. Let me grab that. I know where that is. Yeah, I've also toyed with the idea of walking on my hooves, just because it's an interesting thought of what does it feel like to walk on my hooves, not have the ground directly beneath my feet, but instead basically toenails covering my toes. That's basically what hooves are. Now that we can go into the castle again, I think I'll go check out some statues. I don't think you were interested in the statues before. Have you seen the volcano? Not yet. The volcano's to the east. Sure wish I could take a dip in the springs. I mean, Mel is a prince. Maybe he could invite you. I am 99% certain these beds were not bouncy in the original game. But I'm also 99.1% certain I never tried. Wildland is asking, but what are these hands like really? Is it harder with less fingers? I mean, having less fingers definitely takes some getting used to. What I would suggest is, like, putting two of your fingers next to each other, like, and try using them in pairs. It's a little tricky because your joints aren't going to line up, but it is still entirely doable, and my thumbs are basically still thumbs, and those are the important digits. Otherwise, I can use my big, fat index finger to press the shoulder buttons just fine. Oh no, by all means, I love talking about this. I don't get to talk about my persona very often. Maddie's about to head off. I was about to comment on something Maddie said, though. Maddie said, I've been leaning more and more towards a character of mine, a pterosaur, a Petanosaurus specifically, when I never really cared as much for pteros growing up compared to dinos or others. So who knows what you might end up liking down the road. On that note, it is actually a concern of mine that I might wind up changing again in the future. Considering how much I've changed in the past, going from raccoon to raccoon-skunk hybrid, back to raccoon, to skunk, back to raccoon, now a pig. It feels like the species changes have gotten ridiculous, so I'm hoping to stick with this for the long term. That said, I was recently tempted by bear. Wildland is asking what is holding hands like with hands like this. I haven't tried, but I assume same as normal. Have I finished exploring? I'm pretty sure I finished exploring. No, wait. We haven't checked out up here. But yeah, I think you say the same thing as before. Bus is undergoing repairs. Well, the bus repair guy is actually gone now, so probably actually doing the repairs. Alright, we're gonna do some fast travel now. We got things to do. Starting with Booster Tower. Which, you can directly go to Knife Guy's ball game, so that's good to know. Wildland says, but you have less fingers for another person's fingers to go between. So that could be some difference. Oh yeah, good point. Well, I have experienced some awkward hand-holding in the past. So it would be kind of like that. So, Wario-Land, you were wondering what that one cloud person meant by landing near the sky? Here you are. What are you babbling about? Why should I marry you? Booster actually has a talking animation now. What a wonderful thing to say! I love the animation of the sniffets. That's a new animation. And Mario's like, Oh! Oh yeah. Booster pass. Time to spend some frog coins. Have you got 3 frog coins to fill in the Thought Peak info for a monster list entry? Fill me in. Got the Thought Peak info for Dodo. Nothing else, okay. Dodo as Valentina's attendant. And that would be why it's a different entry, because it is in fact a different version with 1000 HP instead of 800. It is interesting to think the other times we can fight Dodo is with a party of 3, 800 HP, but then other instances with Peach fighting alone, 1000 HP. Although I don't think that Peach actually caused 1000 points of damage. I think that Dodo actually flees around halfway. And yes, different description. He resents Valentina, who's not his real parent, and took it out on some of her statues. But ultimately, he can't ignore his debt to her for raising him. I think Dodo's entries are actually my favorite so far. It really sheds some light on a character who was just a punching bag in the original game. I mean, I still kind of wish that that Valentina still treated him as one. It's mean, but that's Valentina. She's mean. And I think the resentment is better with that abusiveness. Then again, can't ignore his debt to her for raising him. If Valentina was still as abusive, I would probably feel more sorry for him. Because we'd be talking about a toxic relationship then. And given this situation, upon further thought, we don't necessarily need that sort of toxic relationship, especially knowing that Dodo still remains with Valentina even through the end of the game. So maybe it is for the best that Valentina isn't as abusive. Also, Valentina, 2000 HP. Definitely the most HP we've seen so far. She knows enough about food to pronounce pizza in the traditional way. Her favorite candy is those Valentine's message hearts, chalky as they are. I hate those. Let's check out all her attacks, because she's got a bunch of them, like I said. What an interesting description, though. Nothing about the martini she's holding, by the way. And it's interesting that she still holds a martini. In fact, her Japanese name, I think, is actually Martini. Oh boy, that attack there causes a lot of damage, hypothetically, and inflicts sleep on your entire team. Margarita! Yes, thank you, Wario Land. Not Martini, Margarita. Oh, we cycled through. So, this is something I've been wondering for a long time. Is she sitting on a banana? Also, it occurs to me, we can see all of the enemy attack animations, but we can't see their taking damage animation. Was that the last one on the list? Yep, that's the last one so far. Scrapbook, Parental Reunion. We beat Valentina, and I got some quality time with my parents. Next, we're going to have a good sweat at the hot springs before we start hunting for the star at the volcano. Again, hint hint. Okay, next destination. Rosetown. I am not even going to try reading this until I capture it. I definitely like how not only the music speeds up, but it becomes higher pitched. It did not become higher pitched in the original game. I can't believe it! That's the quick-acting fertilizer I've been seeking forever! I thought it was merely a rumor among the Bezos. I've searched high and low for the world over for it, but I never came close to finding it. Although 3 years ago, I explored a cave in Booster Pass, hint hint, and made contact with the Bezo clan in Bean Valley, but both times, my hopes for the fertilizer were dashed. Okay, Bean Valley, yeah, but there's nothing about this quest at Booster Hill. Still, though, hint that there's something there in case you forgot after pressing that button in Booster Tower. So I changed tactics, thinking that I could instead formulate it myself, but that route seemed to be impossible. It's no exaggeration to say that I need that fertilizer you hold in order to fulfill my lifelong dream as a gardener. I really cannot stress enough the paramount importance of you handing it over to me without delay. Really. Short attention span? No. Yes, you might say I have fertilizer on the brain. Will you give it to me? No. Granting an old man's wishes, same as just before. Well, Mario, will you give the fertilizer? Yes. Oh, thank you. I finally have both the seed and the fertilizer. I'll try them out right away. I'll plant the seed. Then give it fertilizer. Nothing's happening. Wow! Are you about to talk about the lottery and not having to pay your taxes? This is amazing! Yep. Oh, but not entirely word for word. M. Night says, finally, the old man has a seed and fertilizer, which you could find at a gardening shop. No, 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 this isn't just a seed and fertilizer. This is a legendary seed and fertilizer, held by the Bezo clan. Finally, my long-held dream has become reality. If I were to attempt to describe my feelings right now, it would be like winning the lottery when the odds were 1,000,000 to 1 against you. No, that's not quite it. It's nothing so mundane. It's a more refined joy, of course. But alas, what I'm discovering is that mere words do not suffice to convey the extent of the emotions I'm feeling. In fact, I've lost track of what I'm saying. And I'm exceedingly close to certain that the truth of it is that no one would be able to suppress this overwhelming torrent of emotion. When I first came into possession of this planter, it was not easy to believe that a plant big enough to suit it could ever exist. And yet now that I see this magnificent plant with my own eyes, I am once again reminded of just how truly incredible nature can be. Is any of this getting through? Sigh. It's good to be a gardener. Wait until my buddies over at Happy Gardener Monthly hear about this. They'll be positively green with envy. Hey, if you wanted a plant that was big enough for that planter, get a piranha plant. You think you could use a little more fertilizer? Not while I'm drinking, please! Oops. Maybe not, huh? This will get me in Happy Gardener Monthly magazine. Okay, I could hop in the plant in here. Oh, I just noticed it's even casting a shadow. So, Mario's shadow is going straight down, but the plant's shadow and, in general, object shadows are going to the side. How does that work? I mean, it's no big deal if you call me Erika instead of Catherine or Kat. They're both technically correct. Other names, not so much. Although, while we're on the subject of the name Cat, somebody on another site decided to call me Kit Kat. And I'm tempted to adapt that as another nickname. Although I am neither a kit nor a cat. Automatic climbing once I jump on. And... oh boy. The lazy shell. And the lazy shell. Do they look different? Probably not. Nope. They still look the same. Just double checking. So, here's Mario's Mega Glove. His attack is currently 161. And here's the Lazy Shell, boosting his attack to 191. Toss a shell at an enemy. Meanwhile, here's a fluffy shirt. You can see the stats that Mario gains from it over there on the right. And there's the stats for the Lazy Shell. Very interesting. So, the Lazy Shell, a stout and durable shell. That is quite the defensive and magic defense boost. Basically makes you all but invincible. But with quite the trade-off there. Attack way down, speed way down, magic attack way down. I can definitely appreciate the debuff, considering the massive boost to defense and magic defense. Even the original game had that. But it was still overpowered as heck. Like, give that to Peach. Her healing spell is going to be weaker, yeah, but it basically means that you have a nigh invulnerable healer on your team. And during my original run, I used the Lazy Shells, because of course I'm going to use this overpowered equipment. It's easy to be overpowered in this game. This game is easy. But I think during this run I'm actually going to not equip these. Also, yeah, Mario can equip the Lazy Shell weapon, and only Mario can, but the Lazy Shell armor can be equipped by anybody. Well, I will at the very least show off the Lazy Shell. Not that Lazy Shell. The weapon Lazy Shell. Huh, Mario actually climbs back down. Let's go to... heck, let's have some fun. Hey! Alright. The Lazy Shell, by the way, has a wide attack range, just like the Masher does. So, depending on how well I time this will either be kinda strong or holy heck. Let's see if I can get that perfect timing. Okay, I did not get the perfect timing, but that was still holy heck. Granted, these are early enemies. Let me try to get that perfect timing. There we go. Just to compare, we'll have Mallow attack. Yeah, these enemies are weak. Still, though, it's a good weapon. But I'm gonna stick with the regular weapons. It's been a long time since I've actually done that. I don't feel like it. Been a bit since I've seen Yoshi. I was so busy growing sheep. Herding sheep, if you will. Oh! I totally get it now! Hold on, let's get into another fight. I think I mistimed that. That's just hard to time. Try it one more time. I'm not sure I'm getting it. Oh, didn't want that. Nope, I am just record video. Good point. That probably only saved the past few seconds. Uh, 1, 2, 3. Well, I don't know how many sheep are on the screen, but it's definitely not 40. But I was just thinking, hang on a sec. Sheep attack, and we need to use the lamb's lure 40 times. Are we making... are we growing the flock in order to get this attack? Are these the enemies that we turned into sheep? I mean, there might not be 40 sheep on screen, but that could be the intent. Okay, what else do I want to do? What else? What else? What else? Anything else? Yeah, okay. There's something else I want to do, but it is quitting time. Do I want to do it now or wait until next stream? Well, I'm going to save in here anyway. I can save it for next stream. No, I don't need to do the Moleville trading quest again. I need the money for this place right here, in fact. And once again, it's one of those things where showing something off, trying to show off as much of the game as possible, like I did in my original run. But the thing here is actually really fun, so I'm definitely going to show it off next time. If you've enjoyed today's stream, feel free to give me a follow. I stream every Tuesday and Saturday, weather permitting. And next time, we'll do the thing here, and also go to the volcano. Now, let's go ahead and raid Matty. Thank you all for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Thank you for the bits, Wario Land. Wario Land says, thank you for the very fun stream. I had a lot of fun. I will say I enjoyed today's stream more since I wasn't trying as hard to make another Super Mario RPG run like my first.